Refugees are people who have fled war, violence, conflicts, persecution, poverty, drought, or floods and have crossed an international border to find safety in another country. Refugees can be young or old, from the city or from the country. Refugees often have had to flee with little more than the clothes on their back, leaving behind homes.
Russia's invasion of Ukraine in February 2022 has created the largest humanitarian crisis in Europe's recent history, with the ongoing war causing increasing numbers of casualties, destruction and displacement within and around Ukraine's borders. Most refugees fleeing the country are women and children, who are also at heightened risk of violence and abuse, including human trafficking, smuggling and illegal adoption. Ireland's response to the Ukrainian crisis has been almost exemplary, with a focus on human rights first. However, it is not without its flaws. Within the Irish response is a heavy reliance on the community and voluntary sector to provide a patchwork of supports such as donations, transport, coordination of accommodation, teaching English, supporting family placements, integration and so on. Cavan has been no different. As the number of Ukrainians surpass 1,000 at the beginning of September in the county, the supports that are available are changing and increasing all the time. Cavan County Local Development linked in with the Ukrainian community Cavan towards the end of February this year. The group previously had a social focus which changed as it responded to the war and the emerging refugee crisis in Cavan. Under the SICAP programme, Cavan County Local Development provided the group with an office space, admin support, help with organising and coordinating donations, fundraising activities, help in developing a website, Facebook and Telegram channel, providing information to the public on donations, on housing refugees, supporting refugees with food parcels, setting up a housing available database, providing information to incoming refugees on rights and entitlements and linking them in with relevant agencies, and social media pages. We have organised several information events for incoming refugees and linked these refugees with local, regional and national organisations. We've also placed a huge amount of importance on monitoring racism and discrimination. Cavan County Local Development contracted a cultural champion and employed a full and part-time Ukrainian support worker to aid SICAP workers in assisting the existing Ukrainian community in Cavan and the refugees coming into the county. Cavan County Local Development under the SICAP programme provided support, advocacy, advice and guidance to incoming refugees. Cavan County Local Development worked with the Ukrainian community Cavan on establishing a Palyonitsa hub. The aim of the facility is to provide people from Ukraine and Cavan with clothing and essential items. The hub offers a support network to refugees. The volunteers that work in the hub are refugees themselves. The group are managed by CCLD and facilitate new refugees with form filling and the provision of information. The notice boards in the hub contain information on job opportunities, official forms, educational opportunities and social events. The hub stocks clothes, toiletries, baby products and equipment, as well as school uniforms. There is always a friendly face and a cup of tea. It's a hive of activity providing refugees with essentials as well as kindness, empathy and support. The Fun and Freedom Initiative was launched by CCLD under the SICAP programme during Easter 2022. It was an initiative to bring some fun and a little normality into the lives of the Ukrainian refugee children in Cavan. CCLD initially organised day trips for the Ukrainian children and their families to local children's activity centres. Tom Duffy's Circus donated free tickets to us towards the end of the Easter holidays. During the summer months, we organised a comprehensive programme of educational and fun activities for the Ukrainian children right around the county. The children benefited from English classes, arts and crafts, drama and dance, sports and a really well-attended trip to Dublin Zoo. It was an excellent opportunity for the Ukrainian children to meet other children from their country, which were now living in Cavan. It was also a brilliant opportunity to improve their English, build friendships and get school ready. A lot of our voluntary English tutors were students in the local secondary schools themselves, and so were a great support to the Ukrainian children as they started into the new school term in September. CCLD responded quickly to the need for conversational English classes. We operate the Fáilte Isteach project in Cavan. The programme's aim is to welcome migrants into the community by facilitating conversational English classes. Voluntary tutors are trained specifically to deal with migrants arriving from war-torn countries. CCLD quickly established new projects to deal with demand. The project trebled in size. We now have more than 20 voluntary tutors and projects currently operating in Swanlinbar, Belturbet, Cavan Town, Cootehill, Crover, Ballyjamesduff and Virginia. The group catered for children over the summer months and also came together to organise food and welcome events and highly successful tours of the local towns. The classes and venues continue to grow and are hugely popular. The pledged accommodation has been slow to get started, but we are delighted that it is proving a really positive experience for homeowners and refugees alike. There are plenty of challenges, including access to transport and services. It's also extremely labour intensive, but it is changing lives for the better. Ireland remains amongst the friendliest and most welcoming countries in the world, and this has definitely been seen in Cavan as homeowners continue to welcome Ukrainians into their homes. Cavan County Local Development have been working with community and voluntary groups on establishing Friends of Ukraine local groups around the county. These groups are providing Fáilte Isteach English classes, integration events, fundraising and donation days, day trips, social mornings, information and support. Cootehill is an example of how local people have come together with the support of CCLD to welcome and support Ukrainians coming to their local town.
Set up a committee to help with the Ukrainian relief and do anything we could do. So we immediately engaged with a group who we identified as speaking English, and we asked them what their needs were, and we discussed what they would like to do, what they would like us to do for them. And one of the first things we started very early on was a weekly get together in here. Where we had a coffee morning, which we now do every Thursday morning, and that has been very valuable in that we've been able to get different community groups in. We also had an open day, a welcome open day, which again we were able to get different people in, like their local public health nurse and different community groups. Other activities we've done are a hike to Ben Baldwin, and one of our members had a barbecue out in our house, and we had a trip to Bundoran where some of us went to Bundoran, and it was actually the first time some of the Ukrainians had seen the sea, so that was a very good day. We had English lessons. We've eight volunteer tutors who started English lessons during the summer holidays, both for adults and children, and they were very, very small groups, so that it was very valuable that everybody got a chance to practice their English in a secure and small group. Then we arranged for some of the children to go to the GEA pool camp and the soccer camp.
We have built up a great rapport with them now. We meet them on the street, they recognise us, we recognise them. They're integrating with the kids. The issue really around transport seemed to be from the start a huge issue. You know, anywhere or anything you need to do is not really within the town. They do have to travel, but getting the funding to do that. So we can leave them feeling isolated. I think now that the kids are back at school, a lot of the parents are feeling at a loss, you know, that just time on their hands and what do they do with it. So they're starting now to look at work or ask us, can we help in that manner?
These are just a few examples of the work. And some of the work is quite poignant to what's happening at home as well. So it's a release of their feelings.
Following the securing of substantial funding, we aim to set up counselling supports around the county for Ukrainian adults and children. We hope to set up after-school supports and Saturday schools for children and young people. We are expanding the hub to become a Ukrainian centre which will hold the Palyonitsa, an education centre and a wellbeing space. We aim to focus on self-employment and employment. We want the people coming into the county to feel safe and supported, materially and psychologically, to foster healing and resilience, to be able to participate in education, to support their integration and to prevent underachievement and early school leaving. The immense outpouring of public goodwill has demonstrated once again that values such as compassion, empathy and solidarity are the guiding light of the Cavan public. We leave you with beautiful baby Kira, born on the 29th of August 2022 and now living in the Bailey Hotel, Baileyborough. Kira is our first migrant Ukrainian baby born in Cavan and is a sign of hope and the future, a future of hope and opportunity.
The Ukraine war and other conflicts has pushed the number of people forced to flee conflicts, violence and persecution to over 100 million for the first time in history, a record that should never have been set.